Ferro told you so. I first guessed that Giannis Antetokounmpo was the real deal and one day would figure it out. So about 2.5, 3 years ago, when everybody was leaving the Giannis train as the Milwaukee Bucks fell to the Miami Heat in the bubble, all I heard was Giannis ain't for real. Giannis is a fake. And all I kept telling people was, hold on now. I watched this brother, the regular season game in and out, compete at the ultimate of levels. The Milwaukee Bucks were hurt as much as any team was in the bubble. At that time, Giannis really needed that home cooking around the age of 24, 25. Okay, he doesn't need it now. It's time to put what this gentleman has done in the last 3 to 4 years in proper perspective. I'm 28 years old. Giannis is only 27. Okay, this wasn't even supposed to be Giannis's year to win MVP. He's in the conversation after the last week he's had, beating Joel Embiid in the Philadelphia 76ers, coming up with the game-winning block on Joel Embiid to help his Bucks win that one. And then also beating Kevin Durant, knocking in the game-time 3 to force overtime and dropping 44, passing by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to take over the scoring lead in Milwaukee Bucks history. He did that in 1 week. Okay, he has now climbed into the MVP race. Do you realize he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year already? That's already solidified. Nobody's taking that away from him. The Milwaukee Bucks got about 5 or 6 games left. If Giannis plays it out, he's going to win MVP again. I would have never guessed that. To me, this was Nikola Jokic's MVP to lose once Joel Embiid got James Harden. If you listen to Giannis talk, he wasn't even trying to win the MVP this year. But if I'm the Greek freak, it's like, oh, wow, I guess y'all don't want it. I'm going to take it. Whenever I want to be, I'm the best in the world. This year, you could tell Giannis was more or less focused on the postseason. We called him out on his platform. I told y'all a couple months ago that Giannis was just kind of coasting through the regular season. He's so great. Him coasting is still a guy that can average 28 to 30 points, 12 to 14 rebounds a game, 5 to 6 assists, 2 to 3 blocks. That's how great he is right now. So I wasn't knocking Giannis because I didn't think he was good enough to win MVP this year. I was actually complimenting him and holding him to the standard of greatness, which is what I believe him to be. To me, he's the best basketball player in the world, and he's showing it. Okay, so in a 4-year stretch, if Giannis wins MVP, he'd been to won 3 regular season MVPs. The 1 year in this 4-year stretch that he didn't win the regular season MVP, his team won the championship and he won finals MVP. So it'll be 4 MVPs total in 4 years. It will be a Defensive Player of the Year. He won that in the same season with one of the MVPs. Okay. His knee almost twisted the other way against the Atlanta Hawks. Not only did he come back against the Phoenix Suns, he dropped 50 points in a closeout game 6 to beat Phoenix, a really great team, a team that, by the way, has done nothing but get better this season. But Giannis and his Milwaukee Bucks 10 months ago beat that same Chris Paul-led Phoenix Suns team that, if they really wanted to, probably could have won 70 games this year. Okay, so the brother has already won the same amount of championships that LeBron James won as a Cleveland Cavalier. I know it doesn't feel that way, but Giannis, for all intents and purposes, is pretty much as accomplished as LeBron James was his first stint in Cleveland. That's a real thing. Okay, if Giannis wins a second championship, that'll be 2 more than what Kevin Durant was able to do as an Oklahoma City Thunder. Keep in mind, KD at one point in time played with 2 first-ballot Hall of Famers. I'll give you an out on James Harden. Russell Westbrook, first-ballot Hall of Famer without a shadow of a doubt. KD had him with him in Oklahoma City. I think Chris Middleton one day will have a shot at making the Hall of Fame. If he continues to play with Giannis, he will be a first-ballot Hall of Famer. But for right now, Middleton seems to be probably a second-ballot Hall of Famer. We'll see what happens with Jrue Holiday as well. The point I'm trying to make is Giannis doesn't play with a first-ballot for sure Hall of Famer at this moment, and I love Chris Middleton and Jrue Holiday. They're not there yet. Okay, Giannis, when everybody, including self, was telling the Greek freak that he needs to leave Milwaukee and go elsewhere, not only did he double down and re-up a long-term contract in Milwaukee, something that most of his peers not named Steph Curry didn't do. The James Hardens, the LeBrons, the KDs. I mean, most of these gentlemen dipped. When things got the hardest, they dipped. Okay, so not only did he stay, he ended up winning a championship the following campaign. Giannis is in the midst of one of the greatest careers that we've ever seen in NBA history. He's 2.5 to 3 months away from becoming one of the best 16 to 20 players of all time, and he's not even 28. That's a real thing, y'all. If the brother wins his second championship, assuming that he'd win his second finals MVP to go along with that because of the stats that he puts up night in, night out, and also keep in mind the defensive stats that he puts up, the brother also maybe will have 3 regular season MVPs as well with a defensive player of the year. The brother is already climbing the ranks of the all-time greats. I don't know how you could put guys like Charles Barkley, as great as he was, ahead of Giannis. I don't know how he'll stay ahead of Giannis. Okay, when we talk about 18 to 22 NBA greats, we're talking about guys like Dirk Nowitzki, Dwayne Wade, Hakeem Olajuwon. Maybe you might have him a spot or two higher. David Robinson, Jerry West. These are guys that are typically in that 18 to 22 range. Isaiah Thomas. You know, it's going to be tough for Kawhi Leonard to ever be looked at as better than Giannis Antetokounmpo. As great as Kawhi is, Giannis was more present. As great as LeBron is, I would never put Giannis over LeBron. We're not even in that conversation. We're not even in the realm of that. But there are things that Giannis has going with for his legacy that even LeBron doesn't have. Like a defensive player of the year. Like thus far being undefeated in the finals. Not having to leave the team that he was on, a small to mid-market team like a Cleveland and Milwaukee, to go chase a championship. If Giannis decides to leave Milwaukee in the next 2-3 years, even if he demands a trade, optically it'll be looked at differently. It won't be a burning of the jersey like it was when LeBron decided to take his talent to South Beach. This will more or less be okay, you brought us 1, if not 2 championships. Go on, brother. Go do great things. You've done enough for us type of ordeal. It'll be like how it was when LeBron left Cleveland the second go-around for L.A. That's how it'll be for Giannis, though, first time around, if he decides to do that. Not to mention the brother has 2 brothers in the league. And I bring that up to say, no disrespect to the Nasses or coaches, these gentlemen show you how much work Giannis has put in. Not just the talent from the way Giannis is able to dominate a game and how hard he plays. Look at his body. Like, look at how Giannis looks compared to his brother. Thanasis got a little muscle on him, but Giannis is just chiseled up and down. The Greek Freak is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. He's 2.5 months from probably being right behind Dwayne Wade and Dirk Nowitzki on my all-time list. And he will one day pass Dwayne Wade if he stays healthy. And he probably will pass Dirk Nowitzki in the next 3 to 5 years as long as he stays healthy. Everything they've asked him to get better at, he gets better in it in a timely fashion. I told y'all so. Giannis Antetokounmpo is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. If he's able to win a championship, it will likely mean he would have went through, maybe, if his team is the 1 seed, he could have went through the Brooklyn Nets in the first round. That's Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. That's that's probably as difficult it'll ever be as a first-round matchup. The second round, he could have likely went through the Boston Celtics. We shall see. We'll see how it lines up. It could be the Miami Heat, the Chicago Bulls, who got DeRozan and Zach. That's a very tough second-round matchup. And in the conference finals, he could easily have to go against the Miami Heat. That's a tough matchup. Or the Boston Celtics. To get to the NBA Finals, where one of the best regular season teams in the last 5 to 8 years, not named the Golden State Warriors, the Phoenix Suns will likely await them for a finals rematch. A matchup that I would say the Phoenix Suns this year will be the favorite to win. If Giannis is able to go through Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and the Suns back-to-back years, without a shadow of a doubt, we're talking about one of the 17, 18 greatest players of all time. The Greek Freak is climbing the all-time list, and he is doing so quickly.